evening, good morning, or good afternoon, football fans. Wherever you are watching this, it is your boy, the DOUG, here for Week 5. That's right, we're in Week 5 of the NFL. And I did pretty good in the first 2 weeks. Week 3, barely had a winning week by the skin of my teeth. This week, again, the same thing, getting 8 wins out of the possible 15. 8-7, winning week, skin of my teeth. Of course, I know somebody's like, well, just to clarify, it may not be a winning week set in stone yet, because granted, the Dolphins and Saints are still playing with about 8 or so minutes left, 35-17, but I don't think Miami can score the 18 points in that time. If they do, okay, it's a losing week, whatever. But we have some NFL news to talk about. First thing first, a lot of disappointing teams right now in the NFL. You got, of course, the Steelers and Buccaneers, Jaguars who can't win a game, Giants as well. You got the Bengals, Ravens, who are not performing like everyone thought they were going to be. You got teams like Buffalo and the Bills, who are playing very well, and I'll add Miami to that. Granted, I'm not surprised with Jacksonville and the Raiders being bad, or the Rams, but I'm thinking a lot of people they can't believe Ravens and Bengals are 2-2. They can't believe about the Packers all. And something came to my attention today. I don't usually agree with the sports media. I never have. But in this case, I do agree. When it comes to the standings in the conference, I make no bones about it. I'm a Cowboys fan. But I do have to agree with the NFL on this, that the NFC East is probably the worst division in football this year, just because you had the Giants who are 0-4, Redskins and Eagles only have 1 win. Both teams have been looking bad before. Eagles were looking good after they won their game, but then they falter. You got the Redskins, who before they beat Oakland, they were playing bad. They're going to the bye week with a win. Giants, like I said, they look like a train wreck at this point. You got Dallas, my team, who, yes, they're 2-2. A lot of people have been giving me hell for that, but let's be honest here. San Francisco, the 49ers are 2-2. Arizona's 2-2. Does that mean Arizona's as good as the 49ers? No. And San Diego, who beat us. I tip my hat to San Diego. Like I've always said about the Chargers, you never know which one's going to show up, the choke artist or the team that plays. Even Houston is 2-2, so Atlanta is playing bad as well. A lot of teams, a lot of people had playing better than what they were, and not living up to their potential. Well, you got like a team like the Chiefs, who came out of nowhere, and same with the Tennessee Titans, who came out of nowhere as well. And even Cleveland to an extent, and the Jets and Buffalo, who are making the AFC East probably the most fun division to watch, because you got the Bills, who are doing 2-2, you got the Jets, who are 2-2, you got the Dolphins, who will most likely be 3-1 at this point. Then you got New England, who's 4-0. I think it's safe to say New England ain't going to win this division not easily like they normally have had. Now, before I continue, as it was announced today, in case you didn't read it on ESPN or NFL.com or MLB.com, the Chargers and Raiders game that was set to be Sunday afternoon, I think originally it was supposed to be like a 4:25 game, has been moved to 11:35 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday due to the fact of the A's having a playoff game Saturday night at around 9 o'clock. So, if you live on the East Coast, like me, yeah, you will most likely be staying up very late to watch it, or you'll find out who wins when you wake up in the morning. So pretty much my recommendation is, if you're a Chargers fan or a Raiders fan and you live in New York or Maine or Virginia or Florida or anywhere around there, yeah, you get a Red Bull, because you're going to be needing it. Religiously needing it. And that is no joke on that. But anyway, we're here for picks. But before we do, you know me, I like to go over the previous week, just because of the fact that's how I roll. So here we go. Week 4. What exactly happened? Well, of course, we started off week 4 with a blowout of a Thursday game. 49ers won 35-11. Then on Sunday, the Bills got a good upset win over the Ravens, 23-20. Cardinals came back to win over the Bucks. Vikings get the first win in jolly old London. The Chiefs destroy the Giants. Colts destroy the Jaguars, which ain't no surprise to nobody. Seahawks made the comeback over the Houston Texans. Bengals lose to the Browns and was probably the upset of the week. Lions were able to hold off and beat the Bears 40-32. Titans defeated the Jets 38-13. Redskins get their first win of the year over the Raiders. Broncos destroy the Eagles. Cowboys lose a heartbreaker to San Diego. Patriots were able to hold off Atlanta. And right now it looks like Miami is going to lose at this point, unless they make a big old comeback. Now let's get to Week 5, which is what we're here for. The first game in Week 5 is the Buffalo Bills taking on Cleveland in Cleveland, Ohio. Home of the Miz, and that's about it. Cleveland's has never been that great as a team. But you know what? I'm going to buy into the Bills, and I'm going to take Cleveland wins at home in this game. Offensively, neither one's that impressive. Defensively, though, the Browns are a little bit better. And the passing ain't that bad as well for the Browns. Their passing's actually better than the Bills, but Bills have the advantage in the run game. So if it comes down to a running game, Bills most likely will win it. But if it stays a passing game, Browns should be able to win this one at home. So good luck, Cleveland, on Thursday night, which, by the way, you can watch on the NFL Network. And by the way, if you didn't see the opening, Vikings, Steelers, Bucks, and Redskins have a bye this week. Moving on, we have the Patriots taking on the Bengals. I'm going to take the Patriots on this one. They've been looking sloppy. Tom Brady doesn't have his starters like he usually does, but somehow the winning game is without big-name stars excluding Brady. And Bengals have not been the team they were from that playoff one from last year. They're not the same Bengals team. So I'm going to stick with the Tom Brady Pats on this one for at least one more week. Next, we have the Packers coming off their bye week taking on the Detroit Lions. I'm going to take Green Bay on this one. I'm not betting against Aaron Rodgers. No way. I think Lions got lucky last week to beat to beat the Bears. I think the luck stops here. Next, Seahawks take on the Colts. I'm taking the Seahawks in this one. They were able to win on the road against Houston, make the comeback and win that game. I like Andrew Luck better than the Seattle quarterback, but I got to go with the defense on this one. Seahawks will win this game to me. Next, the one my mom hated because she knew I was making this pick ahead of time. Even if the Dolphins were to come back and win or not, I'm going to take the Dolphins to beat the Ravens on this one. After the way the Ravens played against the Bills, there was no excuse for that. Joe Flacco, 5 interceptions, really? Against a bad Bills defense? No way. I got to take the Ravens to lose on this one. Dolphins, first time I'm trusting you. Don't make me regret it. Next, Saints taking on the Chicago Bears. I'm going to take the Saints in this one. I would have had Saints winning this one anyway, even if the Bears would have won against the Lions. I'm not sold on the Bears team as much as a lot of other people have. Don't get me wrong. Yes, Bears are 3-1. But let's remember what happened last year. Bears started out good, but still missed the playoffs anyway. I can't bet against Drew Brees. Drew Brees is the beast in the NFC right now. That's a fact. So I'm going to take the Saints on this one. Next, one of my many upset picks for this week. So pretty much at this point, get ready to hear a lot of strange what the fuck picks. The Giants are at home taking on the Eagles. I'm going to take the Giants on this one. Both teams are looking terrible. I think this would be a best time for the Giants to wake up, do something. Philadelphia hasn't been playing that good since week 1. To me, this is a coin flip game. I'm going to say the same thing I said about the Raiders and Skins. I don't feel confident with either pick in this game. I'm going to take the Giants, though. I think they'll finally get their act together. I don't think Eli's going to go 0-5. If he does, get ready for Tom Coughlin to get fired this season, because he's in the hot seat right now, most likely. Next, Chiefs take on the Titans. Two teams who are both surprisingly doing very well. I'm going to take the Chiefs to remain undefeated. I like Alex Smith. I always have. I feel like he always got a bum rap in San Francisco. Right now, though, he's showing everyone that, hey, maybe he should have stayed and Colin Kaepernick should have went. He is 4-0 right now. Niners are not. Andy Reid's also doing a very good job. Maybe the Eagles should have kept Andy Reid as well. But Kansas City, you all playing against a good Titans defense anyway, offensively. Titans are not that great to me. But here's the key question now. Matt Locker. If he's not playing, Titans are in trouble here. Because I think as much as I'm not a big fan of his, you got a guy who, he's not going to be playing most likely. Jake Locker's right hip injury is significant. It is most likely not, but it's not likely to end his season this year, but I don't think he's going to play this Sunday. I think he'll probably miss a month at most. So he'll probably come back, let's say, in a month. Okay, so that pretty much he'll be gone to the end of October. If Titans can somehow do pretty good, they can still win it, but it depends on what the backup quarterback for the Titans can do at the moment, which, by the way, the backup quarterback is Ryan Fitzpatrick. There's your key shot right there, Chiefs. You've been given a golden opportunity. Don't waste it here. So, by the way, yeah, I have the Chiefs, like I said, though. I think Chiefs will win this game. I think they got a good advantage. Next, another upset pick for this week. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Rams. I know, Greg, you're going to hate me for this, but both teams are looking bad. Again, this is the same thing with the Giants and Eagles. It's a coin flip to me. I'm going to take the Jaguars, offensively, defensively, passing, rushing. Yeah, they suck. But you know what? I'm going for broke this week. This is going to be my upset special video if you haven't figured it out by now with some of these picks. I'm going to take the Jags. Let's see what happens there. You know what? Call this the drunk pick of the year, okay? Call this Doug's drunk pick, okay? I'm taking the Jags. Next, Panthers take on the Cardinals. I'm going to take the Panthers in this one. Cardinals, yeah, you're 2-2, but it's not a great 2-2. You had to beat Tampa Bay, who's not a great team. Carolina, they had their win over the Giants. I think if Carolina plays like they did against the Giants, the Panthers can be a real threat. But if they don't show up this time, I think they're in trouble because, let's be honest, their division's pretty much at this point. If you're the Panthers, Atlanta, or the Bucks, or fuck Tampa Bay Bucks. If you're the Panthers or the Falcons at this point, you're pretty much, you're already looking at the Saints right now going like, okay, we ain't going to get to the players as a division win. We got to win wild card. So if I'm Atlanta or Carolina at this point, I'd start concentrating on a 5th or 6th seed at this point. I know it's still early. We're only in week 5, but it's the Saints. They've been dominant. I'm going to take the Panthers, though. Cam Newton, this is the year I think you need to show everyone that you are a legit quarterback. And one of my best friends from WCC, Gator, he's a big Cam Newton guy. He wants anything bad about him. Hey, I tip my hat to him for that. But I've always said about Cam Newton, yes, he's not missed a season, but they haven't made the playoffs. He's not been a winnable quarterback. Granted, neither is Tony Romo, but I think this is the year Cam Newton needs to shut up all those naysayers like me up. This is the year to do it. Next, this shouldn't be obvious to anyone who I'm picking. It's Broncos at my Cowboys. I'm taking the Cowboys on this one. Yeah, Denver overall is definitely better on offense, passing-wise. Yeah, they're first. I think what Dallas comes in with the advantage is I think their defense is a little better, and I think their running attack, they definitely got the better running combination, at least to me. This may be me being a homer on this one and staying with my team, which, hey, you know me, I'm not going to pick my team to lose. And I'm just going to clarify that. I think for Denver, I think it's obvious Denver's most likely a playoff team. I think this is the real test for them because, let's be honest here, they played the Giants, Ravens, Eagles, and Raiders. The only decent team out of those 4 is the Ravens at this point. For now, maybe the Eagles, Giants, and Raiders turn it around. Who knows? But for now, and I think if I'm looking at it, I think eventually Peyton Manning's going to have that big fall. I would love to see it happen with Dallas this week. If it doesn't, hey, it is what it is. Dallas will go 2-3. Most likely, we'll make that game against the Redskins in Week 6 very much more important. Next, one of 2 late Sunday night games. Texans taking on the 49ers. I am taking on the Texans on this one. Both teams are 2-2. Both teams need a good, strong win right now. I'm going to take the Texans. I just like their defense and overall offensive better than the 49ers. I don't think as of this moment Colin Kaepernick may or may not be the right answer for the Niners. I know he did well near the end of last year, but my big thing with the Niners was last year due to a part because he came in at the right time, or was it because he was that good? This is here to find out to see if that is the case. I'm going to stick with Houston now. Better defense. I think they shake off the 2 losses they had and get back to what they're known for to be doing. San Diego versus Oakland. I'm taking the Chargers on this one. Hopefully they show up this week because, like I said last week, I'll say it again with San Diego. You never know which team's going to show up. Either the team that's won 2 games or the team that's choked in 2 games. Raiders, granted, they hung in there pretty good with the Redskins, and defensively wise, Raiders are definitely better than the Chargers. It's where the offense, Chargers have the advantage in passing and somewhat of a run game. So I'm going to stick with the Chargers, though. I'm not too confident in that, but we shall see what happens. Monday night game. How the tables have turned. It's the 2-2 Jets taking on the 1-3 Falcons. I'm going to pick the Falcons one more time to win. What worries me here is I think originally a lot of other people had this being the other way around, where Jets were coming in looking like crap, and Atlanta was going to look like a good team, where right now it looks like Atlanta's terrible. You got the Jets, who you don't know if they're real or not yet at this point, because they're 2-2. If it's a close game, Jets could win this game. And if Atlanta loses, you may as well hand the Saints that division right now after Week 5. Because if Carolina and Falcons lose, just hand Saints the division title now. Because there is no way I don't think Atlanta or Tampa Bay could catch them at this point if that happens. Like I said, for Atlanta and Panthers, I think at this point you got to concentrate on getting a playoff spot. But again, as a recap, I have Browns, Patriots, Packers, let me start over. Browns, Patriots, Packers, Seahawks, Dolphins, Saints, Giants, Chiefs, Jaguars. It'd be the only time you ever hear me say the Jaguars. I picked them to win, most likely. Panthers, Cowboys, Chargers, Texans, and the Falcons. Let me know what you think of my picks. Do you think Lady Luck will stay with me one more week while I get 5 winning weeks in a row? Or will Week 5 be my Waterloo? Let me know what you think. Until next time when I see you for WWE Battlegrounds, this is the DOUG signing off saying have a good week. Good luck to your teams this week. I am out of here. Woo!